My name is Caroline Poynton from Bury, Manchester. I'm going to record this because this is quite good. Rupert Lowe. I know, silly woman. On this is.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I just want to quickly say, I'm just going to quickly say,
I am not copywriting AI, YouTube, or whatever it's going on about when it tries to ban me. I'm not copywriting. I'm recording this to pay a fucking attention. And I suggest everybody else pays attention.
It's quite often enough, but
Thank you.
Implied. I do really appreciate you guys sticking with me throughout this journey, building this channel, trying to get the message out there. We've had a lot of success recently, and I think we'll have more in the future. Let's just keep going. Let's keep doing it.
Thank you very much.
So for everyone that likes the video, leaves a comment. Anyone that goes to my Patreon and subscribes, I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. I do want to talk about something though. I did mention previously how the establishment would see Restore Britain as a genuine threat. And the only thing that they can really do is to try and frame them as a party full of racists. That is pretty much it. That's the only thing that they can do. Because the party itself is aligned in the interests of the British people. And that's a powerful thing. You know, trying to convince the British public that you shouldn't vote for this party because they have your interests at heart is a hard sell.
I don't vote for fucking
So the only thing that they can really do is try and frame them negatively, try and paint them as a house full of Nazis. And there we go. That's pretty much it. We're going to see a very concerted attempt to do this during this interview with Alex Phillips
and I'm not like
Charlie Downs, in which she spent 25 minutes asking the same question over and over and over again, trying to get the gotcha, trying to get Charlie Downs to say something racist
or something biased,
when in fact the policy itself is just about the protection of the British people. And try as she will, and she tried. Charlie did a pretty good job in this. You should enjoy it. I will be upfront with you. I edited this heavily. I've cut out a lot of honestly,
my money when I get paid,
that was a difficult edit. I've cut out a lot of what Charlie says. I've cut a lot out of what Alex Phillips says because it's just the same stuff over and over again. There's no malicious editing here. I haven't tried to twist the story. The link is in the description below if you want to go watch the whole thing in its entirety. This is more just an example of an edited down example showing all of the various attempts to try and trip up Charlie Downs, to try and frame him as some kind of racist, to try and frame the party as it's some kind of racist movement. It's specifically just to let you guys see what they're doing and also be aware of it moving forward. Enjoy the video.
Please, to God, Elon Musk, please help.
If you can.
Please help.
I think the main question I have is what is so different about Restore Britain to Reform UK, which then sort of illustrates why there needs to be Restore Britain. I want you to explain to me what that is.
What
is it that Restore Britain are proposing? What is it the party's going to do that Reform UK
a lot more than what you think.
When you say Britain as a people, we're talking about ethnicity there.
And they can join with Reform.
Break it down, because I don't understand.
The Restore Britain is going to be the people next that hold Reform to account.
Make it clear.
Yes, thank you. Well, that's why I'm telling you, Alex Phillips. And they're rude.
More than anything.
Because we don't want conservatism, we don't want fucking Labour. So Restore Britain is the new party that's going to be holding. They're the two new parties we've got now, Reform and Restore Britain. Now stop moaning.
Charlie, that Reform UK are probably saying all the things that you believe in and that Rupert Lowe's believing, but just don't go far enough.
Well, we don't.
But Nigel Farage has been on the record saying that we have to appease radical Islam. He says that if we alienate
We're not
Islam politically, we
fucking
will lose.
anyone.
If we
Piss off.
politically alienate the whole of Islam,
I don't give a fuck, Nigel Farage. You can piss off, Alex. You've got brown eyes and brown hair. Get out in here.
in the face of a creed that has no history in this land.
I've got blonde hair and
really
blue eyes.
Is antithetical to our principles.
Okay, so there's a lot of Muslims in this country, and you've already suggested that you can't be British if you're Muslim. Do about Muslims in Britain.
Wait a minute, Alice. I didn't say you can't be British if you're Muslim. I said that you are less British.
How do you calculate one's British?
Less
How
British.
am I?
Because I'm fucking English, you silly woman.
Are you suggesting that people who are non-Christian, who might be Muslim, shouldn't be in this country?
Well, I'm not saying they shouldn't be here, but I am saying that they should not bring their cultural practices to this country if they want to live here. Like Sharia law, like halal slaughter, like wearing the burqa, like cousin marriage, and as I've said already,
all of that,
Britain would make
which
all
we
of those
don't
things
want.
illegal.
Never
explain to me what you mean by remigration and how.
And remigration, we're getting them in a fucking container, you silly woman. We'll use the fucking army. We'll round them up out the hotels, out the fucking jails, put them in a big container and ship them to wherever. We don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, love. Who gives a fuck? Just get down.
In fact, at every opportunity for the last 60 years, the British people
yeah, mate, and I'm on this young man's side, and she's nasty. No, it's just being damn right nasty, man.
National, living on benefits,
look on your phone, you silly woman, look it up, because you don't know shit.
Who is a net burden on the taxpayer, has to leave.
How are you going to determine, how are you going to make people leave who you
How? I'm going to use the fucking army.
Well, it comes down to changing
what we're meant to have.
Indefinitely to remain gives a person
people that don't leave for going in a fucking container get shipped out, love.
As has indefinitely to remain. And on indefinitely to remain, an individual gets access to the full menu of benefits that are offered to people in this country.
Human rights, they've got human rights because they'll be still alive.
Social benefits.
Don't give me
access
that
to
one.
social housing, child benefit, and all the rest of it. From those on indefinitely to remain would be a
the ones that can't go back to their own country, they'll be going to Uganda.
Benefits from those on indefinitely to remain.
We'll be using the plan that we've already paid for.
Future of the country, and this is another area that reform.
And then we'll be using another plan. Is we'll be building we'll be building a massive jail, the biggest jail the world has ever seen.
Well, first of all, he was saying
in another country, and the people that are hardcore criminals who don't need to let them on anybody's streets around the world. We will keep them locked up in this big secure jail.
Should they have different policies applied to them based upon their religion?
And don't give me human rights because I've already watched one jail in there.
But should they have different policies applied to them based upon religion?
I think it's Dubai or not Dubai. It's somewhere around them regions anyway.
Associated with
and
I can't see much difference other than when it
and I can't see much difference to what they do with the death penalty. Why we don't do it for fucking rapists and pedos.
Identity, ethnicity, and creed.
Don't care about ethnicity and whatever they are. They're a fucking pedo and a rapist. You get the death penalty.
What it is that you're going to do differently that reform would do when it comes to those issues? You seem to be suggesting that
I'm probably
there
going a
needs
bit
to
too
be a
far,
difference
silly
between
woman.
the way certain
Right, do
things
not
are
call
applied
Rupert Lowe.
to people in Britain based upon their religion,
based
not
upon
necessarily
everything,
the legality of their passport, their citizenship status. This is what I'm saying. This is when you start getting into the difficult area. I think we need to understand
the criminals are going. That's what you're going to understand.
What it is you mean to do.
What it is, we want them gone.
People in my family who were not. Yeah, their parents weren't born in Britain. Are they going to be harassed, not given the same opportunities?
No.
This is what we need to understand. How far
down the line and we're going to go all fucking way,
I've
love.
already said today several times now, we're not talking about discriminating against individuals. What we're talking about is outlawing certain practices that are associated with certain religion. On the second point about British identity,
So
this
why
is
is she
crucial,
trying to fucking
because, as
paint
you've
it
said,
something
Reform are not
different?
interested in going into these thorny areas because they are too scared, frankly. I think they are cowards on this
Or is
issue.
it that they're scary?
Oh, just don't
I
like it.
They're scary.
I find these areas, personally, some of them
Oh,
start tilting into areas that I find a bit scary.
I'm scared of you,
We're
love, you
talking
fucking
about the
bully.
very existence of our nation, Alex. Of course it's scary.
I'll
But my
fucking
answer
scare
to this, to what you're actually
I'll scare
asking,
her.
which is,
Piss off.
what does it mean to be British, and how
I'll
does
tell her
our
what it means to
definition
be British,
differ to
because
that
I'm
of reform?
fucking English.
As I've said already,
I'm not
again,
British,
reform
mate.
believe
I'll
that
tell
to
you
be
what,
British means
Alex
to
Phillips,
believe
I'll
in
tell you what
British
it's like to be
values. Now,
fucking
we
English,
accepted this
bitch.
yesterday,
Over 1,000 years worth of fucking history. 36 worth of generations of a family from Yorkshire.
The indigenous British people will be a minority in this country.
All served in army, baronets, all sorts. I'll tell her what it's like to be British and fucking English. Yeah, well, I'm white, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah,
and I'm fucking English.
I haven't seen those predictions, and 2063 is a long way off. But
if you don't like it,
it's a few decades. Well,
go fucking lump it. Go somewhere else, mate.
But
don't
it's in most people. I'll be long gone. Put it like that.
Yeah, you'll be long gone. Bye, mate.
It will be a huge moment in British history for the first time ever in this nation's more than 1,000 years of proud history.
Yeah, 1,000 years. I've just said of my family, mate. Over 1,000 years.
You're obsessed with this stuff.
Farage has said that demographics are of no concern to him.
Do you think that immigration represents a major threat to Britain from a demographic perspective? So, in the last 20 years, the white British population has declined from 87%
because they moved out the country because they knew what were coming.
Is that a concern of yours?
No.
It's not that we're not giving birth.
That Britain is a people.
I used to wonder that. I used to sit and think, where's all the white people gone?
Is a people.
Where is all the white children gone off my street? Look, there isn't a white child in my street that plays out. There's not a white person in Bury.
And somebody whose family has lived here for 1,000 years.
Not many white children in Bury, where I live in Manchester.
Is that okay?
So don't fucking go there. She knows it. She fucking knows it.
It is clear. This is what I'm really struggling with.
She knows exactly what Restore Britain are doing. So why are you trying to make it any different?
Is it just halal meat and that's it?
I think
no, it's all of it. You silly woman.
When I say
nothing to do with just halal meat. It's to do with all of it.
In the last 5
oh my days! I've never heard a woman so simple in my life. Oh, she's so stupid. No, mate. I know she's good, him. Oh, God bless you, man.
Who the British people are.
You're so stupid. I used to like you as well. I really used to like Alex.
As I've already said, Tice, Farage, all of them have said this. Is
the way she said things about
what Blair defined the British people as
Sadiq Khan and stuff. I used to like
British values. Whereas what Restore Britain is saying is there's more to being British than that.
Slowly, she put me off there. Excuse me, love, you've slowly turned me against you because your eyes look evil.
Believe in democracy and
Well,
tolerance.
she slowly turned me against her. When she bullied Rupert Lowe. Don't bully Rupert Lowe, you
You're saying we all
bitch.
know who the British people are, and I'm saying explain it to me.
Yeah, explain it because she's got a fucking knife in her and she's a nasty bitch.
How many times are we going to go?
No, again, no, please, again. Explain to me who the British people are and how you're going to treat them differently.
Are you not
to the people
British?
you regard as not the British people.
We have been through this already.
I know, but I'm not understanding it.
Well,
it isn't
fuck
clear
off
to me
then,
because you were talking in the similar sort of safe terms that you accuse Reform UK
Oh, you're
of
a
doing.
silly woman.
So,
She's so
what is
stupid.
this? You know, you talk
What
about
is this?
ancestry.
What
How
is
many generations do you need to have
36!
before you are British?
How many generations do you have to go
36
back?
generation of English!
Right? This is not difficult to understand.
I'm more,
if you have a
so
British
fuck
parent,
off.
then you are British, okay? Or half British, right? And in terms of the religious...
How many generations? I've got 36. But actually, there's 50. Because me and my sister are coming under the 50th generation, I reckon.
Fundamental to
Go
who we
away,
are
silly
as
woman.
political organisations and as people, right? And so if
Oh
you,
my God, she's not really
things
clever, is
that are
she? She's fucking got an IQ.
to Christianity, like the creeds of other religions, then
Or
that
she's
doesn't make you
just
less British,
being
I'm afraid.
nasty.
And what would you-
I think she is
What would you do
clever.
about
She's just
those
being
people?
downright fucking rude
I've
and
already
nasty,
said that
love.
we'll outlaw
You're just being
practices
nasty.
associated with other religions if they are
Fuck off.
distasteful and frankly
Right?
disgusting.
You've got to be on
our,
Restore side.
sensibilities,
You're on
like
the same side
cousin
of
marriage,
getting
and
labour out, you
in terms
silly
of
woman.
doing things to people. Again, you keep trying to put these words in my mouth.
And if
We're
you
not gonna do
try
anything
to
any-
bully
anything
Rupert
to
Lowe,
create the kind of culture that we want to have in this country.
Right. I understand all of that, but now I'm
we are going
now
off
what
there
I'm trying
because
to
I don't
understand
please
is how
take
that
her
is
off
different to what
talk. I
Reform's
can't
saying.
stand her
I mean, I
anymore.
think
Sorry,
everyone
love, I
listening,
just
they'll be
can't
able to
stand
tell
her.
because Reform are not
I
offering
really
anything
can't.
close to this kind of agenda.
And this is why I record what I'm doing. I'm not recording it to take over or anything, but I record that because obviously he's not really speaking. But I am pissed off with her. Please talk TV. Stop putting that monster on the TV. That witch. He's a bullying Rupert Lowe now, you know. Piss off. They want to bully Rupert Lowe now. piss off for themselves, man. Sick of it. Sick to fucking death of them bastards. Rupert Lowe, I am Rupert Lowe. I'm all the way by your side, Rupert Lowe. I'm right by Rupert Lowe's side. And oh mate, and I am right by Rupert Lowe. And I don't care what they say. I am right by Rupert Lowe's side with this. I am. And I'm voting for his stall. I haven't voted anyone ever in my life. I have never ever voted for no one. And this is probably why I'm waiting for Rupert Lowe. This is why I'll not be voting no one until I've waited for Rupert Lowe. Because this will be the first time, I'm 43, this will be the first time in my life that I am going to actually put my hand and my pen, whatever it is, and sign it for Rupert Lowe. It's the first time I'm going to vote for anyone in my life is Rupert Lowe. I'm not voting for no one else. I don't give a fuck. Ben Lebeev, I do like Ben Lebeev, but in my thing what I put Rupert Lowe to be the government. Ben Lebeev, Nick from UKIP. I wanted Nick from UKIP to be the Deputy Prime Minister with Rupert Lowe. You know, like fucking David Lammy up fucking Keir Starmer's ass. But in a good way, not up Rupert Lowe's ass, but I'm saying to be behind Rupert Lowe and helping Rupert Lowe to deal with this with really Nick from UKIP, because I do like Nick from UKIP. And I did say Ben Lebeev. I did say Liz Truss, and I also said Suella Braverman. A little bit disappointed in Suella Braverman, to be honest with myself, going straight with reform. I thought she might have waited. I thought Suella Braverman actually would have been a bit better. And holding on and helped Rupert Lowe. I'm a little bit, I mean, I like Suella Braverman as well. So, do not call me anything about race and colour, because I like Kerry Badenoch. I like Suella Braverman. I like Liz Truss. I like Ben Lebeev. I like Rupert Lowe. And I like Nick. You know, and I've also put a team together for the media. I put the media team together. I also put the Patriot side together, which is Tom Robson and obviously Dan, Paul, and Richard Hillman together for that side. Owen Jeffrey part of the media team, but also part of the Patriot side. So some people will be part of each side in it. That's what I mean. And it's all informative, you know, which really then which would be good, because then everybody would be near enough on the same pages. So that's what's going to bring it all together, when people are on the same pages of what's going on. Yeah, but that Alex Phillips and that, they can go. They can get off there. Get gone. I don't like him either, juicy. He does say some good things, yeah, don't get me wrong, but I just don't like him. He's a lying, smearing, cheating something, like Nigel Farage, and I will not be trusting that. And Nigel Farage, the reason why I will never vote for him, and I don't give a fuck, and I've said it already, and I'll say it again, Nigel Farage, I don't care, mate, you've made me say what I've said, because I'll tell you why. Because it was Nigel Farage, well, it was Rupert Lowe that was dealing with that part, which then, if Nigel Farage and the team didn't want anybody to do mass immigration and say all them things what Rupert Lowe really is saying, because he was being the best person that they had in reform, Rupert Lowe was the fucking man in reform, not Nigel Farage, not Ben Lebeev. None of them were the person in reform. It was Rupert Lowe. Rupert Lowe was should have been the main person in Reform. Rupert Lowe should be the government from Reform. And Nigel Farage is a spoilt bastard man because he's just thinking about him fucking self like Keir Starmer. It's all about Nigel. It's not about reforming the country. It's all about one man. He fucked up with Brexit, so fuck off. He was in Conservative, so he fucked up with Brexit. And then he thinks it's okay. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not fucking alright, because I hold him responsible for part of Labour dropping out on this huge thing that has been in our country. And I've been under that scheme of their scheming shit. And my little girl could be under that next. My sister's children could be under that next. And I don't fucking think so. Right? I don't care. I have had enough of this. They better get this fucking sorted and leave Rupert Lowe alone. Because I tell you what, Rupert Lowe's the only one. And Nigel Farage, he promised. He said, not Rupert Lowe. Okay. And Rupert Lowe is doing his part. He has done his fucking part. Rupert Lowe has stuck to what he said he was doing. Nigel Farage has never stuck to anything that he said he's going to do. He said that he was going to deal. Nigel Farage was going to deal and put in money of his own to deal with the grooming gang scandal. And then he dropped out of that. And he become a shit scared something. I don't know what the fuck, yeah. But I'll tell you what the fuck. If he thinks that's okay, and he thinks he's got himself out of not being a fucking pedo for himself, Nigel Farage is very fucking wrong. Nigel Farage, you said you were going to deal, not Rupert Lowe. Do not try and put Rupert Lowe under no bus here. Nigel Farage said it in fucking self. And as he has not done no inquiry, right, and then when the fucking Labour went into the thing and then they voted against the inquiry, they've not done an inquiry because of Nigel fucking Farage. Now, if Nigel Farage put his own money in everything what he said he was going to do, which, thank you very much, you know, somebody like me wouldn't be able to know how to thank someone to do that for, not just for myself, but for everybody, enough. We wouldn't know how to really thank anybody enough for doing that. Right? And then that would be a massive appreciation of, you know, if he did put his hand in his pocket, Nigel Farage, and did do the inquiry like he said he was going to do, then I wouldn't be calling him a fucking pedo. The reason why I won't be voting Nigel Farage is because he lied about the grooming gang scandal. Why would he need to lie if he's not involved? If you're not involved, like Rupert Lowe, I know Rupert Lowe is one of the people that is not involved with the grooming gang scandal, and that is why I am voting for Rupert Lowe. And considering I've been under all of these things, social pedo services all my life, I've been groomed out myself and everything else, I've got a fucking right. And with what pedo services are putting me and my little sister through and everything else, I've got right to speak out. If they don't like it, the fucking government and fucking Nigel Farage need to go fuck off. And if that Alex Phillips thinks that I'm fucking scared of her either, I'll fucking tear her head off. She's a witch. What a bitch.
It's no censorship. I'm Dan Poynton. This is Outspoken episode number 429 and breaking right now. Restore Britain leader Rupert Lowe standing by for his first live interview since launching Restore Britain as a national party in the most viral political video of the past decade, which has captivated the MAGA right and sent Reform UK's Nigel Farage into a meltdown, finally admitting in a fit of pique that he axed Rupert from the party over his position on mass deportations.
It helps me with what I'm doing as well, Rupert.
You don't think
Thank
an
you very
election
much,
cycle
mate.
or headlines.
I know I'm not part of your family. I
You
know
think
I'm
in
nothing to do
seasons.
with you.
You think in
But,
generations.
I don't know, but I
in
mean,
what you leave behind to
I'm not
those who come
really
after
checked
you.
out
And that's
about
why, here on the farm, I am now launching Restore Britain as a national political party.
you.
The single most viral political ad in the last 10 years is right here on your screen right now. A kindly old gentlemanly British man wandering about his farm, engaging in farm duties, explaining that now is the time for British people to save their once great kingdom.
You know, when he stood up and said that we've got to consider the mass deportation of entire communities, including those born in the United Kingdom, that just moves way beyond a point of reasonableness, of decency, of morality, and that was the moment at which, I realised we just had to get rid of it, and get rid of it as quickly as we could.
Rupert Lowe will be here in just 1 minute to respond to a disgusting news slur from Reform UK's David Cunningham on GB News. She has actually called Restore Britain neo-Nazi. So will Rupert be suing? We will find out. We'll also discuss his bold announcement that he will campaign to reintroduce the death penalty for criminals like the Southport terrorist Axel Ruder-Kamana. And the UK right appears to be reshaping around Restore Britain, with UKIP leader Nick Tenconi making a merger offer. He'll be here later too. Also coming up on the show today, King Charles's ultimate nightmare seems to be coming true, with ex-Prince Andrew now being probed by 7 police forces, including over those 6 trafficking allegations. We all have the latest. And Paloma Faith exposed as a gender traitor. The Superstar panel will weigh in on that today. Activist Kelly J. King, Restore Britain campaigner and YouTube star Montgomery Toms, and Advance UK National Political Director Richard Thompson. Then in the Royal Uncancelled After Show over on Substack, Prince William speaks out in an emotional and personal interview amidst the growing royal crisis. We'll have all the latest with royal YouTube sensation according to Taz. And of course you can vote right now for today's Union Jackass. Here are your nominees put forward by today's Superstar panel. Sadiq Khan, nominated by Kelly J. King for the Ramadan Lights and his hatred of Londoners. Hannah Spencer, nominated by Richard Thompson for running on a Gaza ticket using Arabic within their campaigning materials. This is the United Kingdom. Our politics should be being promoted in English, and about issues here in the UK. She should focus more on Orton and Denton and less on Gaza. And Alex Phillips, nominated by Montgomery Toms for being intellectually dishonest regarding Restore Britain. If you don't know what he's talking about, I'll show you the clips shortly. But now, let's go. Rupert Lowe, leader of Restore Britain, now a national political party. So great to have you. And Rupert, I hear you have some big news in terms of your membership numbers.
I am so looking forward.
We like giving you exclusives, Dan. Yes, our membership went through 70,000 earlier today. So
wow. I'm voting when I get paid.
It's been fantastic, and I can only thank those people who've joined up. I honestly think
am going to be joining up
if we're going to change things,
I've not got a lot
we've got to appeal to everybody now to
You're
take
appealing
part.
to me, and that's...
you can't rely on a few people to change this. This is a huge mess.
Thank you.
And I'm hoping that everybody in the country who cares about
do not. I'm sick of him telling this man that he's too old. Donald Trump's well older than Rupert Lowe, so just go away for it. Well, Donald Trump's a lot older than you. And Donald Trump can do it, so you can do it, Rupert Lowe. You can do it.
Refusing elections.
And Nigel Farage's old enough as well.
Get in their faces and tell them that they serve the people, not the other way around, and start to change the dynamic for the country. That's the only way we're going to solve this.
What's very disappointing though, Rupert, is that it feels like some of the right of British politics, specifically Reform UK, are actually taking on the tactics of the hard left when it comes to Restore Britain. And the great thing about having you here is that you can obviously respond to some of this directly, but the one that has really caused a lot of anger today is Labour Cunningham. She is the mayoral candidate for Reform UK. She went on TV News last night and actually suggested that Restore Britain, and specifically one of your brilliant staff members, Charlie Dowd, was neo-Nazi. Watch this.
No, I like Bentley. You horrible lady.
If you're not white and Christian in this country, you're not British.
Really?
Right?
It's not racist, you horrible lady.
Neo-Nazi Aryan race. If you're not white, I mean, I've heard their spokesperson on Talk TV and on TV.
Well, he's got a fucking pedo either, love.
Then you're not deemed to be British. And you know that flies.
Put that in your ass and shove that in your ass.
Assimilation, because
no matter how much
you integrate or assimilate, according to them, you will never
how
be British.
Dare you?
I mean,
how dare you?
Right now, but the bottom line
no,
is,
love,
people in
you
their party who say one
can't do that. I like this lady, well, please. Don't do that, because I like that lady.
More generally, can we deal with that specifically?
And I don't think she'll stand up for
considering
that.
Legal
I
action?
don't think she'll stand up for calling Rupert Lowe a racist.
First of all,
well, I hope she does not.
That is
I hope she does not do that.
At the end of the day, our party is just a group of
that's not nice.
people who care about Britain.
Yeah, and I care about Britain, and I care about my little sister. We're English,
I think what Labour
we're with for a hell of a time.
Is nonsense.
My little sister could
it's
die.
Troublemaking.
And all she can call someone is a fucking Nazi.
Neo-Nazis and
I know, mate.
Aryan. I think most people can see that reform.
I can see right past all of that, mate.
They are very worried.
I don't like Nigel for I'm sorry, I've said what I've said.
Now who want
I will not change my vote.
To come and join Restore Britain. I think a lot of their branches have been treated very badly. And I think they're genuinely worried.
I've been waiting for you to get your party together.
Polls is going to go into quite a steep reverse from here.
For the country and for everyone.
If you listen to the comments Nigel made yesterday,
and he has been, this guy is fucking done more than anyone else in this fucking country.
Prison last February, March. By making £2.
Mate, you deserve a medal.
One from
you deserve honouring of King Charles.
I think to several
you deserve an honour and a medal that he deserves. The King.
Correct.
And also
giving him an honour like they give everybody else an honour, like fucking
the only thing I didn't like in the video was
guy.
was sort of an elderly gentleman. I like to think of myself as sort of a very young elderly gentleman rather than an elderly gentleman.
It doesn't matter.
So I've run multiple businesses. I've never had any accusations of any form of bullying.
You're a fit man, you're a healthy fit man, which I can see that.
Dementia, and I
know you've got none of that. Don't be silly.
Didn't threaten
that's
the use of Pauline Anderson, although I can't get a hold of a copy of those.
Yeah, and I don't like that.
I just
don't like the
illegal
little
witness statements.
cunt.
But look,
he uses his colour, mate.
We may or may not take legal action on what Nigel said yesterday because he completely contradicted the reasons they said they got rid of
I am a little bit thingy with Sherella Braverman.
When he spoke yesterday. He also said
Alright, I've got one person in the party
when I left WHR and the share price was £1.40 because I sold my shares at that. I
wrote my part, I wrote a thing of declaration of what I've been saying, what this is saying.
And that was 10 years later. So
and I put you at the Prime Minister, as the Prime Minister at the top of the list.
When I left in 2006,
and I put Nick
it had £5 million in the bank because I had to
as to be the Deputy Prime
Minister. And I went back for a year to rescue it.
Because I think Nick is going to be a
the
very,
people who
very
took over
next
from me
Prime
in
Minister after
2006
Rupert
had a
Lowe.
run at going up, wasted all the
I
money
hope
that we'd saved, sold some
That's
players
what
that we created
I can't
through
be
the
Prime
academy,
Minister.
and in the end failed to go up in the
I
playoffs.
can, with Rupert
and
Lowe,
unfortunately they left the club in a
I
very
think
poor
Rupert Lowe
financial
built
state, which
up.
I went in to try and resolve because I
me and
cared
my little
about
sister, we do
the
need some
stadium
financial
and
help.
I cared about the fans even though they didn't treat
Because
me
we are
particularly
poor,
well.
we do need some
I
financial
by then had
help.
quite an affection for Southampton Football Club. So
Okay.
look,
We do.
Nigel also
And
said I
Tony,
sued him.
my
I've never
husband,
sued him.
they've worked all, Tony's
I
worked
did
all his
threaten to
life.
sue him in
the city and
2019
everybody.
when
He should be able
Richard
to get
Tice failed
backed
to tell him
financially with that
that I was
by
standing
City
down
and the...
in Dudley
Well,
North, which was
really,
a
yeah.
Labour seat by 23 votes.
Because we need
After 2 days after he'd stood down in every Tory seat.
sponsor it.
And the reason I stood down was I didn't want to split the vote and let in a momentum Labour candidate. And in the end, I let in Marco Longi, who's a Tory. So look, I mean, Nigel's getting worried. He's throwing lots of stuff at me. I'm not proposing to say any more about reform. I'm
he will
really
pay
not
for
interested
me not
in
to
let
be there.
concentrate on my own knitting.
I know Rupert Lowe won't be like Keir Starmer and the rest of them. Rupert Lowe will allow me not to stay at that castle.
That's
for as
what
long
we
as
might
we
do, but
need
we
to
haven't
get
made
our
a
children
decision
back
yet
to our lives,
because
back to
we do
get
want
the
to
better
then
to get.
concentrate
We'll still
on
have our own home as
setting up
home.
the
Obviously, my
structures
house
to
has got to
restore
be
Britain.
redone completely,
I've
so I'm probably
concluded
going to
that
have to
we
move out.
need
And
to stand a
Natalie's
Restore
house
Britain
is too
candidate
small
in every seat
for, say, like
to give the
myself to
British
move in.
people a chance to vote.
That's what I mean.
Wow.
It's too
So
small.
no deals.
No, because then we're
From
on top of
outside
each other
the
and there's no
British-
room for
The
anyone.
current British establishment, I think,
You know, it's
the
all right a
establishment,
little
the
bit,
press,
you know,
you
for me to
notice the press
stay
cut me
in
out, other
there.
than good people like yourself, have cut me out
You know,
completely. I mean,
yeah,
GB News,
and I'm
who
not cutting,
claimed
yeah,
to
well,
be
I'm not. Yeah, because that's to do with Nigel
impartial,
Farage.
had gone full on Nigel. The BBC, I hardly hear a peep out of them these days. I don't think they covered our rape
Good,
gang
don't
inquiry
go on
at
there
all.
anyway. Don't need to go on pedo scene.
And
Stay
I
with
saw
Dan.
Jeremy Vine on his phone in
And,
when somebody asked him about it, and he couldn't wait to get them off. So look,
stay with Dan.
We've
Stay with Dan.
actually got that, Rupert. Let's take a look at it because I think it was a really
I like
interesting
you to stay with Dan
moment.
with
GB
this,
News has been
actually.
trying to say, oh, no one knows
You know, to be
who
able to.
Rupert Lowe is.
They do know. I know
And
who
then
Rupert Lowe
calls
is.
up Jeremy
Well, if
Vine,
they don't know
and
who
the
Rupert
moment
Lowe
you're
is, they need to go and get back
Jeremy
under
Vine
a
cannot
fucking
get
rock.
the dude off the phone
They need to
quick
get
enough.
the
This is what
fuck out.
happened.
They done for themselves, mate.
Oh,
he's a faggot. Piss off with that shirt.
Rupert Lowe. Now, the way he treated Rupert Lowe, it was just awful. Like, he made up a bunch of lies, him and Dear used
This
to.
is an every
trying to clear his name.
And they tried to cut it off.
And,
kind of a bit of a local.
so they tried to get him arrested as well.
But does that matter in the scheme
Yes.
of things? It's just a kind of a local
No,
argument.
it matters,
What's that
mate.
platform?
It goes to show a lot
Of course
about
it matters.
He's willing to, like,
It's the same as
betray one of his
fucking
MPs
Labour.
to try and get him arrested
Keir
and make him
Starmer
look
throwing
like
people
a
under
liar.
the bus, mate. It's no
Okay,
different, is it?
Thank you so much.
Of
Thanks
course
for
it
your calls on
fucking
this.
matters.
It was like, shut up!
Yeah,
Shut
mate,
up,
of course
this
it
isn't the
matters,
narrative we
Rupert
want.
Lowe.
I
Of
thought
course
it was
it
a really,
matters, yeah? Of course
really
it matters,
illuminating
Dan.
moment, actually.
Of course it matters.
he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to change the
Well,
subject.
Rupert Lowe's
So-
thing will go up.
So look,
Yeah,
I
but it
don't
will go
think
up.
we
I
want
mean,
to
don't
worry
forget,
too
they've only
much
just
about
started,
these
Rupert
petty
Lowe.
little polls and stuff.
And I think,
Ultimately,
I
what we've
honest
got
to
to
God,
do
Rupert
is
Lowe,
provide
I
an
think
alternative
that
for the British
Rupert
people.
Lowe is they've got Labour, you know, the unfortunate thing is with Keir Starmer, he picks on reform, yeah, he picks on Nigel all the time, and Nigel Farage shook his hand, shook Keir Starmer's hand, which I've seen him doing, and I don't like that. Why is he shaking Keir Starmer's hand?
A Tory basis to their
You only do that when you've won your part, when you've won your seat. Obviously, I've got to say, you know, when you've won to be Prime Minister, then you kind of have to, you don't want to really have to do it, but you kind of just shake their hand to just keep the peace, and, you know, you're now the government and they've lost, kind of thing, yeah. But you don't do it until you're fucking won, do you?
Come to Parliament in the last election like
And I don't want Nigel Farage.
And I think many of them share the
I
objectives
reckon
that
Rupert
we
Lowe,
all have, but they're
I
currently
was going to
Tories.
say, sorry,
So
Keir
I've
Starmer,
got to look
the
for
thing
people
is,
who
with
have
Nigel
skills, who
Farage, he's
contribute
got
to their local
loads, Keir
communities,
Starmer's got
who
loads to throw Nigel
basically put
Farage under
Britain
the
at
bus
the top
for.
of the agenda.
Yeah, I
And
was
what
going
we've
to say, he's
got
got a
to
lot
do
to
is
throw
try
Nigel Farage
and
under the
take
bus for,
control
the
of,
Brexit and
Parliament,
everything,
which
and he was in
ultimately
Conservatives and everything.
controls, from
Whereas
there you control
Rupert
everything.
Lowe, they've got
And what we've
nothing
got to do
on
then
Rupert
is
Lowe
to
with the
liberate
scandals
British
of
people,
anything.
Get rid of a lot of
I was
the
gonna say, mate, you haven't
ridiculous
got anything.
legislation that Blair, Brown Campbell,
Keir Starmer and the
announced
Labour
in
Party,
the
they should be
such
more
as
worried
the
about
Equalities
fucking
Act,
Rupert
the
Lowe.
Human Rights Act.
But
I mean,
Keir
this list is
Starmer
almost
is not
endless.
bothered about Rupert Lowe, he's more bothered about Nigel
Deregulate,
Farage.
basically cut the size of the state, allow people
Because
to
I
keep
think,
more of what they
but
make,
all deep down,
encourage young people into work,
all
cut
deep down,
welfare,
maybe
punish
Keir
indolence,
Starmer
and
does have a
basically
bit of
reward
a,
hard work and enterprise.
some
And
sort
I
of
think if we do
backbone,
that,
some
we've got the
sort of
best people in the
something.
world, and I've got every
I bet
faith
some
that
sort
they
of
will
something.
deliver.
Just-
But I
don't
can't,
know, you know.
I can't, as I said in
And,
that video, I don't promise them
He can't stand Nigel Farage.
I think after years of
he
being
really can't kiss down, and he really can't stand Nigel Farage.
Like a frog, if they don't jump out of the tub now and start to fight for their country, then ultimately they will be boiled and it'll be too late. And I think beyond 29, that's going to be the case from what I can see.
That's the point.
Absolutely.
He's got nothing on Rupert Lowe.
I can't tell you
I'm going to say
how
Rupert Lowe,
much
we've got
waste
nothing against.
I see the public sector throwing around absolutely everywhere. Too many staff.
And he's the only one that can speak in Parliament as well.
And
he's the only one that Labour, all the people in Parliament, all of them seem to kind of listen to what Rupert Lowe's saying. When they speak from reform, they don't seem to
I mean, look, I can't tell you how bad it is.
Listen to what they're saying.
The British people are taxed into oblivion.
But when Rupert Lowe speaks,
as I think
when
I
you
said
speak out in Parliament, they all seem to have a soft spot. They've got a soft spot for
people, and I believe that.
They really do.
Yeah, I do too.
They do.
I do too.
I know a lot of the Labour Party have got a
real
soft spot for Rupert Lowe.
Is of course your policy on mass deportation, and this is where all of the attacks are coming from. And there's a couple of things that I think is really important for us to discuss. First, Farage's comments yesterday were absolutely shocking. Now, you're right, the mainstream media hasn't covered them at all, but look at what Elon Musk said when he found out about this. One word, wow. And that's because what Farage admitted yesterday was that all of this talk of, being reported to the police over 30 words, it was all bullshit. It was all a total lie. He admitted he wanted you out of the party because you were advocating for mass deportations. Watch this.
Well, let's clarify that. This is very important. So of course, Nigel tried to edit my speech when I gave a speech in Northwest Essex in Kennington constituency.
Already got a lot on his plate, so let's.
I arrived
I'm giving him a little bit of slack there. Well,
young lad,
slack. I'm trying
to edit my speech.
Make it so it's like, because he's already got Labour, every other country, and everybody. I'm going to say in every other place, everyone. So that's why I'm saying Elon Musk
here illegally. That's the place to start.
Is the next best person
he
for
wanted
us
the word mass
as well,
taken out.
with Rupert Lowe.
The thing I think that really upset
I want
him
Rupert
was
Lowe
that
to
I
be the
said
government, though.
the families of the Pakistani Muslim rapists, and they are largely Pakistani Muslim rapists. There are some Afghanistan, some Eritreans, some Bangladeshis.
Well, to get in this,
but I said that the families of those people perpetrating rape
all the
on
advertisement,
white, working
everything
class,
that needs to be
vulnerable,
done. I haven't got the money,
underage
I wish I
English
did.
girls, those
If I had the money,
families
mate,
who are foreign nationals
situation.
should be deported, and those families who are dual nationals should have their British citizenship revoked,
and
they
this
should
is when
be
me and my sister can
I
have a life back,
I
mate.
never said that whole communities of people with British passports should be deported. That's just Nigel indulging in
exactly.
trying to stir up all sorts of trouble. So I've never ever said that. But what I have said is that you know, and as you now know, we've done our Red Gang inquiry. The report is now being drafted.
There we are.
And I can tell you it's going to contain some.
And Nigel Farage, this is not on you, this was on Nigel Farage. He was the one.
Of stories which I found over 2 weeks
because Rupert Lowe were in the party, and they put Rupert Lowe on that side of dealing with the grooming gang.
What I can tell you is
as part of the party, as part of the Reform Party. But it was Nigel Farage that but it was Nigel Farage and Rupert Lowe that basically did say, and this is what I'm saying, do not fucking smear Rupert Lowe for this one, because Nigel Farage, Rupert Lowe, you were in the party with Reform, right, thinking he was doing the right thing, Rupert Lowe, and he was doing the right thing, and he has done the right thing, right, he has done the right thing, this man. This is the only man in the country outside of my family that I don't know that I'm going to trust with this, with the country. This man is the only man that I trust with the grooming gangs. I trust if this man takes over that someone like me and my sister were going to get a little bit of a look in. Not a look in as in we're going to be big people or we're going to be celebrities or anything like that. A looking as in to get our children back and a bit of our life back. Which is, I'm not asking for a lot, really. I'm not asking for a lot. I mean, it seems like a lot, but and yeah, we haven't got the money to do everything we want to quite do. Money's a big factor in everything, I know, but I don't try and make all of this about just money. This is about me, my sister, her 2 children, my little girl, and our life. And how we're going to get, who is going to help us and support us, and possibly sponsor us with helping us with some costs of the cost of these things to fight what I call the fucking pedo services and the cost of getting our children back to us. And obviously the cost so that I can get my qualifications and be able to go to work eventually to support not support all the family, but to support myself and my little girl. Natalie, she's going to need long-term support, finance support because of the situation. But I probably won't need life support. Well, I need life support, but i.e. life support as in my education, my qualification being done, and then support as in getting me into a proper job, and getting my little girl back and getting my sister's children back. And the only person I trust is Rupert Lowe. And Nigel Farage, I suggest they fucking listen to what I'm saying. Because Nigel Farage, he promised about the grooming gang. He was the one that said he was going to put his hand in his pocket and deal with it. And when they didn't deal with it, and Rupert Lowe was basically getting it in action, Rupert Lowe was getting everything that he thought at the time reform was meant to be doing in action on the table properly. Yeah, for an inquiry. That's when they dropped Rupert Lowe. Because Rupert Lowe had set it all up for a proper inquiry. And reform dropped out. Nigel Farage was the fucking man that dropped out of doing that inquiry. And he didn't put his own hands in his own pocket like he said he was going to do, and then got rid of Rupert Lowe. And Rupert Lowe has had to put his own hand in his own pockets. And this is why I respect this man more than any fucking other man in this country as being the Prime Minister. Because he put his hand in his own pocket to deal with this. To deal with the grooming gang scandal. Because Nigel Farage let it down. And how dare that Alex Phillips say anything about Rupert Lowe? Who the fucking hell do she think she is?
Pakistani Muslim rapists, and they are largely Pakistani Muslim rapists. There are some Afghanistan, some Eritreans, some Bangladeshis. Yeah. But I said that the families of those people perpetrating rape on white, working class, vulnerable, underage English girls, those families who are foreign nationals should be deported, and those families
that's where Nigel
Farage should have their British citizenship revoked, and they should be deported. I never said fucking,
well, if he's not involved, well, that's just what it means to me that Nigel Farage has been involved somewhere, and he's trying to stir up trouble on Rupert, on an innocent man.
Said that, but what I have said is that, you know, and
Rupert Lowe's one of the most, he's one of the most out of all of these people
being drafted. And
in the country, as being MPs and everything, the only person I'm putting my trust up, my 99% trust
I found over 2 weeks incredibly harrowing.
For anything,
I really
but my 99% trust with Rupert Lowe
of the hearings
to be the next Prime Minister.
All I can tell you is, I just can't see how anybody in this country
and to get
can vote
get
Labour,
everything we need
or
in
indeed
order
any
correctly.
party which has taken no action over what is a pervasive evil across
with human
the country,
rights and everything else,
anyone who's played a part in enabling the mass rape of Britain, as I call it, and particularly vulnerable white working class underage girls who were firstly groomed,
he doesn't want to know,
and
mate.
then raped. And I think trafficking
He's worse than fucking Starmer. We're not wanting to know about that.
County lines drugs, it's linked, I think, probably to organised crime.
He seems to be wishing out his case Starmer, not wanting to know about it.
Multicultural experiment which the country embarked on.
They've not pushed that forward
Those
to
people who are
Rupert Lowe.
responsible
They've
for
not
it
spoke
realise
about
that
it.
it's going to be a difficult job
Reform
to
said
actually solve this problem.
Alex Phillips
But that doesn't mean to say we don't have to start somewhere.
Again, really.
And I'm not in any way being racist. I'm making
No,
a judgment, Dan.
And I know
on
you're not a racist
good versus
man. I know
bad,
that.
evil versus good.
Yeah.
This was pure evil. And it doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter, where you're from.
And that Alex
If you perpetrate this kind of evil on the most vulnerable people in society, as far as I'm concerned, you need to be heavily punished
what I'm
for
saying, why I've said Nigel Farage is a fucking pedo, in the same time as Keir Starmer, and the King and the rest of him, is because of what he said and what he's not done.
A rape of a mother and daughter the other day,
and now it means to me that he's involved somewhere along the fucking line or been involved.
30 months or
just because they haven't done the crime. I know, I was going to say, just because these people haven't done the actual crime does not mean they're not involved.
Bonkers, Dan.
They're involved by covering it up or doing and saying something, and then he ain't hold Keir Starmer to account about it. That's what Nigel Farage
came on air.
And I'm holding him up against that, and that bitch there, and fucking Alex and the rest of them better get off there.
Been commented on by Labour Plain in that interview. I want to show you what Elon Musk has said is his strongest attack on Reform UK yet.
Yeah,
I want to know if you agree. He says,
and that's not going well with fucking Labour for them, is it?
On the offensive against them, referring to Reform
well, how can they fight against Labour if they're lying and doing and cheating themselves?
White eradication. That means they are the racists.
Yes.
They are the Nazis.
Yep. And how can they fight Labour?
Well, I don't really want to get involved
when they're doing the same by lying and scheming, which Labour are doing. Labour are doing that. Conservatives have done that. Labour are doing that. They've all done that. And then reform. Exactly, mate. Reform, aligning.
What I have objection to is
I
when
hold an objection
people
to
are brought
that.
into this country and treated better than people who've contributed to our way of life, our country, our culture. They've paid their taxes, they've lived legally. And I think the problem we've got is it's actually easier now to police those who are happy to be policed, which is the law-abiding, high-trust sort of indigenous people, rather than the people who've come in here.
I was going to say, it's not my fault that they give us this life.
Particularly if you're going to adopt a sort of woke approach to policing.
We've not asked for this.
And I have this very clear view that,
this shit.
I call it Sadiq Khan's
I was going to say, have I asked for
I was walking home the other day and some poor girl had just been burgled. She was in tears. I mean, burglary in London has gone through the roof, Dan. It is now, it's almost
everything, mate. I can't go out my house, mate.
City, and that breaks my heart. I used to live in London. When I was young, it was safe, it was thriving, everybody
I've not lived in London, I've been in Manchester.
Now,
I'm born in Manchester.
It's absolutely dead in the
I'm saying, mate, I cannot go into Manchester City Centre. I'm in Bury, buried in Bury.
The economic collapse that must come
I'm just about trying to find out if I can get a tram all the way through from Bury to the airport. Because I don't want to get off in Piccadilly Gardens, which is Manchester.
Major reckoning.
As a woman
I
on
think
my own.
everybody's got to prepare themselves for this. And we've all got to now stand up
terrible.
and be counted. But
I've been out as a woman on my own loads of times.
And I blame all the people I've been
out
brought up with.
Clubs and all sorts, and never thought
been respected throughout the world.
I never thought that them ways so much before as I do
they
now.
Have enjoyed the
as I do now.
from
that means there is a massive change somewhere to think that.
And fight
I mean, I'm a bit older now, so I probably don't want to go out raising as much as I used to do.
Democracy is very fragile, and if you don't fight for it, you lose it. And I think that's what's happening. And I watch every day with horror as we get more and more statism, more and more intervention in people's lives, more and more censorship. And that's not the Britain I want to live in, Dan. And we've got to fight that. We've got to stop it. But going back to my point,
yes,
the rape gang hearing, which was, as you know, the culmination of largely 9 months' work by my fantastic team led by Sammy Woodhouse, who's just a superstar.
I mean, I know you've not really got down to people
and her whole team. Yet. And we literally, that was the pinnacle of the work that's gone into, into getting the witness bundles done and everything else. And it's a fascinating cross-section of people who appeared at our hearings.
Well, I'm going to vote.
How can anyone vote Labour when they almost unanimously, I think there was one who didn't, but almost unanimously voted against a statutory inquiry into this national...
I'm doing this because I'm putting it together because I don't care if I say I'm writing to Elon Musk, I am writing, my letters, I've got some of my letters now, I need to put them in action now.
Oh yeah.
Well, I've not been putting it all in action. I've been writing it, but not really putting it in action yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They brought me back. Was you crushed? So they had to change my bed again.
Okay.
Oh, they brought me back to stuff in it.
Well, if you are, I need to still ask. I need to find out about these cushions for your back, your bum, and everything. And then if I'm allowed to bring them in for you. Don't know. Well, what they need to do, because Tony said he has to wash it down there. Really, I could do with trying to learn. Nah, because I don't know yet. But when they come to bath you one day, or shower you the way there, you can help me. Well, it doesn't matter. We're not talking about boobs and bits. We're talking about washing someone. There's a big difference. There's a big difference in looking at someone in a different